No, they are actually working on it. They sent me stuff back. I've been talking to them. Well, what is the deal, YouTube? I don't understand what's going on with YouTube right now. It's just not connecting. Oh no, there we go. It's online.
Are we?
Yeah, there we go. All right. Man, I don't know why that took so long for it to come up.
Oh, I see live now, but why don't I see it on Brograph Live?
Because I have to enter the URL on Brograph Live. So I'm telling you, there's a lot that goes into the live stream.
Come on, don't you just hit the button?
Yeah, I just hit a button.
You just hit the go button, right?
Yeah. All right, so Brograph.tv should be live.
Let's see. Oh, I see nothing.
I see nothing either.
I don't even see our embed link.
Stand by. Let's see what's going on here.
Is there a place that I can go where I can see all the comments all at once?
Yes.
Don't they?
Our YouTube page.
Oh. Okay,
Like
even the YouTube page will actually say it?
It shows all the Oh wait, are you talking about during the show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me give you a thing for the dingus. Hold on.
Well, don't put it in the dingus because then oh, never mind, we're on standby.
Yeah, we're on standby. Where is this working? Edit.
The second I get home from work and a live stream is happening. Nice.
Home from work. Where is he from?
Yeah, Gab Grant, where are you from? It's happening. Send it to me in like a Facebook message or something. Oh, never mind. You can send it to me in the dingus. I forgot.
Yeah, I can send it to you, the dingus.
121.
I don't understand why I'm not getting anything. I'm just gonna trash this video and do it again.
On YouTube?
No. The link that I have on the site.
Okay.
It's just not pulling up.
UK.
URL is not embeddable. Why would it not be embeddable?
Gab Grant, are you G_rant?
G-Rant?
Yeah, G-Rant. Is that you on the Slack?
Why would our page not be embeddable? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Okay, well, I don't have time to mess with that right now. Squarespace is being dumb.
Yeah.
I can try one more time.
No common misconception, sadly. That's funny. Gab Grant is not G-Rant.
Wait, it's not?
It's not, no.
I'm so confused.
I know. That's funny.
All right, well, that's not going to pull up on our site for some reason. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know. I'm just going to have to figure that out later.
That's all right. You can go to all the other dinguses. Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyone that knows we're live is going to have this link anyway, so.
You and me both. All the other dinguses.
I'm going to share my own page. You should share on your page too.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do the Twitch stream.
Why wouldn't you just share the Facebook one?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Share.
dog.
Oh, yeah. Share. Hey, come check out. Let's see. No. I hope you like it.
I hope you like it. There you go. Okay. All right, I'm taking us live to video.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Really big shoe. Ooh, that was cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I got to get you that stream. I also need to refresh the chat down here. Refresh chat. There we go. We're waiting for new messages. Good to go there.
Yeah, you guys can see me like texting the whole time while we're doing the podcast.
Right. All right.
Oh, should I be rolling now?
In a second, yeah.
All right, let me know when. Really big shoe.
Ready and waiting for new messages, and I'm going to hit up the Slack channel. Slack channel's done been hit up. Oh, nice. Yeah, just put all the links. It's funny. I'm going to go ahead and go to my my whatchamacallit mode here. And
Gosh, my hair is like all sorts of creative today.
turning
It's
on
like-
quiet hours so we don't hear the Slack going tut, tut, tut the whole time.
Gotta fix the beard too, you know.
Okay.
Wow, I think I made it worse. All right. Oh boy,
Oh boy, what?
nothing.
Okay. I am rolling. Check, check, check. I'm rolling on
Check.
the thing.
Yes.
You're rolling?
Yep. I am rolling.
Are you ready for the clap?
I'm ready.
Also, would you like to sync?
Ha! Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Ding. Where's your bell?
I put it right in front of me this time.
Good. 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 Okay.
You can see, like, I sit like this. You can tell because my beard's all funky right here. You know,
You need that beard butter.
that beard butter.
Love me some beard butter.
I gotta start like resting like this to even it out.
All
Or I
right,
could just
Joe.
shave my beard. Let's do the clap.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Here we go. First official Brograph live all the way through.
Yep. What's up, live peeps?
That's funny. You can actually see how late it is between the two of us on this.
Yeah. True. You can see where our clap is off or whatever.
Mhm.
Oh, let me send you the link to the thingy.
You're not going to send it in a dingus, are you?
I'm going to. Yeah, it's whatever here.
I was going to say you could send me a Facebook notification or something.
It doesn't matter. It's whatever. Bum bum bum. See it go all over your face.
That's what?
Oh, it doesn't do it on there because it's from my other account. That's funny. Whatever. Okay. We're good.
Dollar Shave Club sponsor.
Yeah. All right.
I have way too many Dollar Shave Club things. I shave maybe once a month, you know?
I know. I've got
And,
too many
like,
Harrys.
I have probably like 100 of those little packets.
Yeah, Jason, it is a short show today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See, I didn't. Oh, okay.
All right. You ready?
Did you send me notes as well?
I did send you notes
Okay.
in the dingus.
In the dingus.
Did you get to chat in the dingus?
Restream chat. Yes, I did.
Okay.
All right. Jeez, there's lots going on. Okay. It's a good thing I've got 700 computers to handle all this.
Right.
Get
Oh, where did
restream
your video go just now?
Oh boy.
Did you
Hold on.
minimize Skype?
For a second, yes. There I
Yeah.
am.
Skype turns off your video when you minimize it because reasons. because that makes sense. Let's just turn off the video for the other
Oh
person.
boy. Okay, there we go. All right.
Oh, this is stupid.
It is stupid.
Oh yeah, every week's a short show, Grant.
Yep.
Yeah, don't you know?
Do short shows happen anymore? Well, it depends. Short show, it's like a short show for us is like an hour 15. Like you do People's People, that's 20 minutes right there.
Right.
You go through your week, that's 15 minutes.
We do have a lot on this today. We got a lot. We're gonna have a lot to talk about, and hopefully some people join in on the live chat, chime in with their opinions and whatnot. And
I need to move over. I need to get back where I was. I just need to move the. I'm not centered, and that's bugging me.
Your chi is not.
My chi.
Centered.
Hold on. Let me see. No, there I was. Oh, dang it! And I went back.
There's your chi.
Here. Did you fix it?
No, I didn't change anything. That's the only space you get in the box.
Oh, I'm moving my camera then, so I'm more centered.
Funny.
And I probably moved it the wrong way.
Yeah, it's whatever. All right. It's all about the audio anyway for this. So.
Yeah. That didn't work.
All right.
Cool.
You're rolling,
Let's
right?
do it. Yes, I am rolling.
Okay. What up, bros? Welcome to another Brograph Brocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And Brograph is a supplement to our site, brograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other MoGraph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, working for the man. And it is just the two of us this week.
You didn't do that all in one breath like you said you were going to last week.
No, I've been a little under the weather. I wasn't up for it. I wasn't pumped enough to do it. So, yeah, we got a lot going on, and it's nice. It's February. Things are picking up quite a bit, and
thank goodness.
Yeah, I mean, no, don't get me wrong. It was a great January. It was our best January yet.
Yeah, but it still.
But January is always a little slow ramp up for us, anyway. Anyway, we have been working on a lot of things. We got a lot to talk about, and so. I guess the first thing that we're going to talk about is that we have decided on a date for the next DFW C4D.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area, Texas, Oklahoma area, come and see us. It's going to be March 1st.
March 1st.
March 1st.
Thursday,
check out this lineup.
March 1st. This is an amazing lineup.
This is going to be EJ and David and Mitch.
Mitch Myers, EJ Hassenfrost, and David Ariev.
It's going to be phenomenal. And we're changing it up a little bit.
And your boys, too. Your boys. Us boys. Us good old boys.
Your boys. No, we're just going to be kind of emceeing the event. We got some really cool stuff we're going to do. It's going to be a little bit different than usual. It's not just people sitting in front of a computer. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully. So we're working out all the details on that. So if you are registered, dfwc4d.com in the mailing list, you'll get that really soon with all the info. We're putting that together today. So we got a lot going on.
If you want to fly down and be awesome like Liam did, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it'll be that Thursday, March 1st.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Come see us. Come hang out. And then, by the way, Coolfire got rid of his signature mustache. And I don't know how I feel about that.
That's big news in the MoGraph industry.
Big news.
This just in.
He finished the tattoo. He got rid of the mustache. Nick says hello from Germany. We are live on the internet today.
We are
by the way.
Yeah, it's the first one that we're actually. The first one that we're actually really doing the whole thing live.
Yeah.
I've been trying to convince Dave to do this forever. And
now
I'm
here's the
thing.
We
can finally do it.
I said I'm not going to do all the tracks and go back and do post editing and all that kind of garbage. We're just going to put the live video up while we're working on the show. We're not going to do a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, look at this thing. Oh, look at this thing, because that's not what the audio podcast is about.
Right.
We have a ridiculous amount of listeners and it's all audio, and I would not want to change that format. So
I agree.
This though is nice because we can actually get some real-time feedback from people. We've been doing this a couple times. We've tried this out, experimented with it. It's been during the day, and we get a lot of people who just kind of watch and listen and just get on the chat and stuff like that. Josh Foster is in the house right now.
Yeah, said first live show. We're part of Brograph history right now.
We actually have an email from Josh Foster. We're going to read later on the show.
All right.
And yeah, but Coolfire lost the mustache. That was like his trademark.
So
and now,
funny.
you know,
We're going to have to make new shirts.
we're going to have to make new shirts. Actually, you know what we should do? Wear the shirts and just put gaff tape over the curly parts of the mustache. I think that's what we're going to have to do.
Just over the whole mustache, though?
No, like, just the curly parts.
Does he not have curlies, but he's actually got a mustache?
He's still got the mustache. I know.
All right.
Mitch has got a mustache. Okay. So he lost his mustache. He got rid of his mustache. I don't think he lost it, but it's a big motion graphics industry news when Mitch loses the mustache.
All right. Go on.
Letting you know. We're working on NAB prep. It's really great. If you're a part of our Slack channel, make sure you go to brograph.com/Slack and sign up. There's so much talk in the NAB channel right now.
There really is, yeah. And we're planning we're trying to plan trying to find an open mic night to where we can all do MoGraph related stand-up routines. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be terrible.
How about that octane fog and how many samples it takes?
Right?
Am I right?
Oh man, that's terrible.
What's the deal with unbiased rendering? Is that what you're gonna do?
No. Yeah, something like that.
Gosh, I can't imagine you guys. No, I don't know if I want to be a part of that.
That's all right. You can just be in the audience, and you'll be the one shaking your head this time at our lame jokes.
Media Motion Ball tickets are on sale, by the way, right now. If you are going to NAB, get on that.
Yes.
And make sure you got that secure. I think we're already going to be there by default.
Yeah, we're going Max on.
So I'm assuming that they're taking care of that, but maybe we should make sure, see if we need to buy our tickets separately. So NAB, if you're going to be there, make sure you talk to us, get on Slack, and get in the NAB 2018 channel. There's a lot of people talking about plans. If you don't have a place to stay, if you like to collaborate with some other people on like maybe an Airbnb or find out about good deals going on, or
I know there's a couple of guys who got an Airbnb. There's like 5 of them staying in one house, which is cool.
Nice. And the thing too is that we can all collaborate on this while we're there. So if you're going to be in, just make sure you get in on the channel, because while we're all in Vegas, we can talk to each other in that channel and figure out plans and such. It's a great place for that.
And actually, Grant said on the chat that he bought a ticket and he's not sure that he is even going to go yet. If you're going to buy one and then you're not going to use it, let us know. This happened at Half Res, where some people just weren't able to make it, and so they had Half Res tickets, and we were able to, get them to people who wanted to go and stuff like that. Just kind of keep track of that, because that would be if you're looking to get rid of your ticket because you're not going to go, let us know.
And so that wraps that up. If you are a new listener of the show, remember you can send us your questions, send us your comments, send us your topic ideas for the show to brograph@brograph.com. So get those in. We've got a lot of stuff to go over today, but in the next couple weeks, I think we're a little light on the emails. We have a bunch of show topic ideas people have posted.
Yeah,
we'll get to
thanks
all of
for
those.
all those guys.
Not necessarily in this show, but
we're gonna bang them all out right now.
They are stacking up, and they have been seen, and we will totally get to them. So a couple other things, just random things from this week I wanted to go over. First of all, I've been loving MailTrack, which is a suggestion that Joey had in his book.
As once again,
Joey's book, which is awesome.
Yes.
And I love the thing about MailTrack, because you can tell, first of all, when somebody reads your email and doesn't respond, you're like, well, what's the deal, yo? I was working on some stuff for this event, and one of the event people we were talking to at the venue read my email the other day and didn't respond. And she's very slow to respond anyway, so I know it's one of those things where she just looked at it and didn't mark it as unread and come back to me. So then I'm like, okay, I know I need to send another follow-up today, because I know she read it and she probably forgot. Or one thing I'll see a lot of times is I'll say, so-and-so read your email, and I'm like, that's an email from a long time ago.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's almost like you can kind of read their mind. You know,
Right,
it's
exactly.
like they're going back to that email for some reason. It's
And
interesting.
and usually it's because they're just going to the last email they sent you
Hmm.
to just say, hey, I'm going to reply back and say, hey, I've got a new project for you.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know, that's happened a lot where it's like so and so read your email and like 10 minutes later I get a call or an email from them saying, hey, it's time for a new project. So that's really cool. I like being able to see when someone's opened something and at least know
Yeah.
they got it.
Yeah, MailTrack is the for Gmail. It's the Chrome extension.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now the thing
It
is
doesn't have
with
to
it.
be a Chrome extension. You can install it into your Gmail direct.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I think no,
I
maybe
think
not. No,
that's part of the Chrome extension is it
it is part of
installs
the
it.
Chrome.
So, but
Well, you can't do
there's
it from another computer. If I
there's a
send from another computer, I don't get it tracked. So
there's a free version and then there's a paid version. I recommend getting the paid version because then
paid.
they don't know that you can check
Right.
this. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, or else
Yeah.
it says you're being tracked on the bottom. And like,
Yeah,
no, no. And
exactly.
it's only like $65 a year or something
Yeah.
for it, but it's totally worth it. I really like it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about it at first, but after the first couple days of using it, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
you can't go back. You can't go back to not knowing that people are reading your emails.
Yeah.
All the notifications suck that they tell you every time it reads it, but it's fine.
And sometimes at the end of the day, if you had a lot of them go out, it'll give you a breakdown and say you sent 10 emails and 8 of
Yeah.
them were open. And it's nice to know if you're sending project like time sensitive stuff to people and they might not necessarily tell you that they got it,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of one of those things where they got it, they're good to go, your client's got it. And then you can be like, okay, well, they didn't send me anything back, but at least I know I can invoice because
Yeah,
they got it.
Right.
So, all right, so there's that. And then I have a suggestion for people, for the love of God, is please stop congratulating people on their work anniversary on LinkedIn. I don't like, I just put some arbitrary date in because I'm like, I don't remember what day I started doing such and such. I'm just adding my job in here and everyone's like, congratulations on your work anniversary. I'm like, thanks, person I barely know, for being disingenuous and not even realizing that, like, I don't know. I just think it's stupid.
But I don't know. I think LinkedIn's a whole nother animal.
Can we first say that work anniversaries are a stupid thing to congratulate?
It really is.
First place.
Like, I guess owning your own company is one thing, but like working at a place that you absolutely just despise working for.
Right.
Hey, congratulations on slaving away another year at that place you despise.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Every time
your life is being wasted away.
Every time I see someone who I know hates their job have another work anniversary, I always want to comment and say, congratulations, you made it another year through this crap hole or something like that.
How do you feel about yourself, bro?
That's funny.
How's that working out for you? So, yes, please don't. Slack, we already talked about Slack. Brograph.com/Slack. I just had it in there. Make sure you go to Brograph.com. Check out some of our other stuff. We got a lot of live streams going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got lots of tutorials on different subjects. We've got Brograph Talks. We've got plugins. We've got tons of cool stuff at Brograph.com. So check that out. I'd also like to mention that last week when we had Jules on the show, JS Render posted in the Reddit subreddit Render Tokens, like a synopsis of what we talked about, which was really detailed. So I'll post a link to that in the show notes if you want a rundown of that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We've also got a link to this. Okay, you've heard of a VC, right?
VC. What is that?
It's like water? It's an EDM. No, that's Dasani.
Oh,
Dasani Avicii.
Yeah.
Giovanni Avicii.
Giovanni Avicii.
So we've got
Dasani Avicii. He's that actor,
Avicii,
right?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? The water guy?
Yeah. Giovanni Avicii. He was
in the Water Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he in the Water Boy?
No.
No, he was in like
Dasani.
Never mind. Yeah. I get it now. Sorry, go ahead. What?
EDM band, Avicii, a pretty big EDM band, right? So you figure that they would have decent music videos, but we saw like this company is making these awful VC videos out of like
Oh yeah.
a weird mix of like it almost looks like video game technology mixed in with like bad motion capture and like
Yes.
nobody knows how to make an actor's foot look like it's actually on the ground.
Yeah.
Like it's really really janky. Like the scenes are okay, but then like the animation is just
Mhm.
hokey. And we found this. I don't know. Somebody on Slack found it, and we were
Yeah,
all like, I don't remember who it was. Sorry,
Yeah, I don't remember.
but we were
We
all
love
looking at this like, what is going on? And then we started passing it around like on Facebook and Messenger and all this stuff. And like, it's a weird mix. It's like it's trying to be David Ariev.
So here's the thing. Like
Mitch Myers.
you watch it and it is straight up David Ariev's Bad Touch. Is it Bad Touch? Bad Touch
Bad
music video.
touch. Walk
No,
away.
Walk away. Walk away. Why did I say Bad Touch?
I
What
don't
was
know.
that? Was that one of the previous ones he did? I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
I
Walk
don't know
Away.
what you're talking about. That touch.
The Walk Away video. And so if you look at the dates and stuff, David finished his way before they finished theirs. So
Yeah.
I guarantee you, like they just straight up ripped off his music video.
Maybe I don't know. I mean,
Dude,
some of the
no,
stuff where
I'm
he's,
calling
like,
it right
twirling
now.
his
I
arms
think
around.
yeah, I mean it's the
And then
Mitch
did his whole like the thing from Interstellar.
yeah,
and they put
the
that in
black
there.
hole and stuff. They straight up
Yeah.
did that. Yeah, I mean it's
And
like
yeah, that's I don't know.
it goes back to the don't put tutorials in your
Right.
in your demo reel, or at
And
least change it up a bit. If you're gonna do something like that, at least change it up a bit.
Right.
You know?
And you go through and you watch like all of these other videos on this company's website, and you're like,
Mhm.
what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like what is the deal with these videos? I don't understand. I don't even understand how they're making them, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't
I'm like,
know.
what software they're using. It's really weird.
It's probably one of those things where they're like, we'll make you a really awesome music video for super cheap,
Yeah.
and they're just gonna buy a bunch of models, and I don't know.
It's really odd to me, especially a VC, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Are you gonna put a link to that so that people
yeah.
can actually do the side by side
Yeah,
comparison?
there'll be a link to that.
All right, cool.
So let's move on to Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
All right. First of all, Pixel Plow is back with Redshift.
Yes, it
officially,
is.
in case you were interested. And you know more about this than I do. What's the deal with the percentage on this now?
I think it's like a 17% like add-on. Hold on, I
That's
want to
lame.
look it up just to double check.
But somebody was it
Redshift
Liam
returns.
in the Dingus was saying that he doesn't think it's like
No,
as
he
fast
said
as before. What's the deal with that?
He said no. He said yeah, it was Liam, and he said he doesn't think it's as fast as before, but that may just because he hasn't like rendered on it in a while. But
Okay.
so there's Redshift in any render app. There's an additional 17% of whatever the chosen rate that you choose on Pixel Plow. And that was the way it was with V-Ray for 3D Studio Max and Maya. So if you were rendering on Pixel Plow like that, then yeah. Anyway, that's the same way it is on Redshift with any render app now. The additional 17%. But Liam was saying that it's basically it's negligible. On some of the stuff that he was testing, the 17%, they're still super super cheap in comparison.
Okay.
Affordable, not cheap.
And by the way, Liam has a new Redshift tutorial that he's sending me right now. That's going to come out this week. We might have another one on Corona, possibly as well. So look for that. And then the live stream will be on Thursday for Redshift Thursday.
Yeah,
don't miss that.
Going back to Pixel Plow, we've actually been in talks with Mr. Plow about.
That's his name. His name again is Pixel Plow.
Mr. Plow.
Right, Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow.
That's the name, Mr. Plow.
He's Mr. Plow.
Oh, we need to tell him
That's
about
his name?
DFW C4D.
Yes.
Now that it's said, don't let me
now that
forget
it's
about
set.
that because he's
So
going to be there as well.
Is he going to be at this one, or is it
I
going to be?
believe. I probably. It
All
sounds
right.
like it. Sounds like he's
Interesting.
down. He's
Okay.
down. So, if you
So
want to
we've been
come see
talking about
Mr.
maybe
Plow in person,
having him on the show as well.
yeah,
Do we need to make him a Mr. Plow jacket?
right. Oh, totally, totally.
Now
And
that
yes, I know the pop filter is too high, but this is all about the audio recording. This isn't
Yes.
about the video recording. It won't sound good if I pull it back. So
Sorry.
I have a different mic than Matt does. I have a
Yeah.
cool mic.
I'm gonna poop filter.
A poop filter.
I'm gonna get a new mic and everything. I'm just waiting for my new house to get finished being built. I got this big. I got a big plan. Big plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What up, French monkey?
Ooh, the French monkey is here too. Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody's showing up. We got a lot of people.
I'm telling you, man, it's
watching
because we're
live.
like
It's great.
during the day.
It is. Yeah, it is because it's during the day.
Yeah.
Got, I don't know, 20, 30 people watching right now, which is
Cool.
pretty good. All right. So onward with the show. Let's move on. Let's talk about the crypto crisis for a minute because we keep mentioning it.
Yeah. Well,
Keep
I
mentioning
mean, is it a crisis? I don't know.
Well,
or is
I
it
like
a
to
correction?
call no, okay, I'm sorry. I'm talking about from graphic standpoint, this is the crypto crisis because we can't get any
Okay.
cards. I keep
Gotcha.
seeing more and more of
Okay.
this, even on Facebook some of the other days, like I
Mhm.
cannot get a card to save my life. And this is the problem. You've got all these 1080s being completely bought up for doing
Mhm.
crypto. You've
Mhm.
got NVIDIA who, now I don't know about this. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess here at some of this, but here's what I'm thinking. Number one is that I don't know how many of these are manufacturing anymore, if any,
Mhm.
as far as 1080s.
No, I don't think they're manufacturing anymore because I think we were chatting on the we were chatting on Slack like yesterday or the day before, and the 2080s are like almost officially being pushed out.
Mhm.
What was it, March or April? Which means that they're done with production on the 10s. You know, so like they're not producing anymore. So this crisis is going to continue happening until they start pushing out more and more cards.
The 20, what do you call it?
The 2080s and the 20 series.
I don't understand why they're going with that number.
Yeah, I know,
but
that's what I said too.
There is a rumor that they're going to announce that pretty soon. I don't remember the exact date they were talking about. But getting back to the whole crisis,
April, sorry.
April, okay.
NVIDIA to announce GA 104 based GeForce 2080 in
So that's going to
April.
be an NAB thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I'll send this to you in the dingus so you've got the link. Is this going to mess up the live stream?
Whatever.
Who cares?
It's all about the audio. Yeah.
Yep.
That's so dumb. Skype is stupid because I need to see the link on the person's face before I click on it in the chat.
Right.
God, Skype is awful. All right. Here's the thing about this. So you've got these cards being swooped up. Prices are going up. NVIDIA can't do anything about it. They're not going to manufacture more 1080s because they're trying to come out with their new stuff. And the thing is, they don't like it because, let's just be honest, this crypto thing, I'm not saying crypto itself is a fad, but I think this rush of mining is kind of a fad that's going to have a long tail that kind of fizzles out. This was just kind of like the initial rush. If it's going to stay at a certain rate as far as how many people are using them for crypto, I would guess in the next round when the 2080 comes out, they're going to produce more cards. There's going to be more of a demand. They're going to know that, and so it's maybe not as much as now, but they're going to probably produce more cards.
Yeah, but you would think that, but like they really don't want people. They've specifically said they don't want retailers selling their cards to anyone but gamers.
Here's why. And first of all, they can't do that. But here's why.
I know that.
Here's why. Here's what's going to happen: is this fad is going to fizzle down. It's going to settle down a little bit. People are going to start selling off their cards on the cheap. What's going to happen? The 2080 is going to come out. And then there's going to be so many extra 1080s sitting around being sold for cheap that nobody's going to buy the 2080s.
I don't know. Or you could have the reverse where the 2080 is just it's not enough of an increment, advantage to buying. So there will be more 2080s on the scene versus the 1080s. You know what I'm saying?
If you're not going to call it an 1180, and you're going to go straight to 2080, I'm guessing it's going to be twice as good. It better be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about
Better
that.
be. I mean, it's 1,000 more than the last one, so you know
That-
it's good.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
Right?
didn't
right?
did they skip the 800 series? Did they just go straight from the 7 to the 9s?
Did they?
I don't
I
know.
guess they did. I don't know. I don't know what their game plan
Yeah, I
is
don't
with
know.
all of that. But I'm wondering again. I'm wondering if that's the deal, that it's a problem of theirs because they're scared about what's going to happen when crypto goes away. If it's going to mess up their new launch. But the
Yeah.
thing is, everybody's getting frustrated about this in the graphics world because here we are trying to make a decent living, and we
Mhm.
can't do it because we've got this shortage.
Yeah.
Or price gouging at that. If you can get a card, it's ridiculously expensive. So you got that going on, which is nice. But then, as if GPU prices weren't high enough, now we got this deep fakes thing going on.
Yeah. I don't think that's really going to cause a big I don't think that's going to cause a big, shortage of GPUs. I think the deepfakes thing is just I don't know.
It's going to be harder for deep fakes to take off with cryptocurrency going nuts.
I don't think so.
So we said we were going to talk about deep fakes.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. We're going to start from the beginning. So there is this. If you want to hear the full explanation on how this works, there's a video called Deep Fakes Explained. There'll be a link in the show notes, and you can check that out. And there's a piece of software that basically learns how to, it's trained by different pictures of faces, and it can put them and track them onto other people.
Yes.
Now, this got popular for the same reason a lot of things actually are popular and take off.
The same reason VHS got popular.
Over beta is because of prawn.
Yeah.
So, it of course it's going to get big because of that. People are obviously there taking pictures of people and putting them on people in pornography, and so that's how it got big.
And if you're one of those people, Shane, stop that.
Rose, I hope you're there. Oh, there you are. Okay. So, if you're putting your friends' faces onto porn, that's a little weird. But here's the thing. It is definitely advancing the popularity of deepfakes. The deepfakes subreddit was actually something where they were just talking about the technology, and then everybody started posting their porns, and before you knew it, it was just all porn. So now deepfakes subreddit has been banned. It's no longer there. I don't know where they moved. I remember seeing something on there a couple weeks ago where it said, look, first of all, we need a separate subreddit for the deepfakes porn because we can't talk about the actual technology. And second of all, we need a place that we can kind of gather because this isn't going to last on Reddit. Starting a Discord or something like that. But now here is the thing. Here's why I wanted to talk about it. Number one, because this is going to change the way that I think a lot of us do some of our work.
Yeah. So this
from
really
a
brings
VFX
up
standpoint.
Yeah. And that's like, this is what got me interested in this whole thing is that, you've got companies like Lola, for example, that make a living off of doing this, like the de-aging stuff. And if you can just take, like, say, for example, Tron, because they had to do so much de-aging in Tron. If you could just take the original Tron movie and take a whole bunch of shots, or what if from now on, any actor who goes in is going to be having, like, almost like a light field camera or photo scan, so that they can use them.
And you could combine that. You can imagine if you combine light field with this, or something that has 3D information, where it doesn't even have to quote unquote like train based on the photos. You've got actual topology. There's a lot more information. It's just going to get better and better.
This was, and so there was a few examples. One of them was they took the Superman dude, what's his name, with the mustache.
With the mustache.
So they actually took pictures of him and put him
Yeah.
over the crappy mustache version, and it doesn't look any different to me, you know?
Right. So
And
you could
so
put
it's
Mitch Meyer's mustache back on him if you wanted to. Just for
oh,
old time's sake. Classic cool fire.
cool. Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good, Dave.
Ding.
Uh,
They did Princess Leia. They
yes.
basically took the Princess Leia and then put her face onto the one that was, I guess, done in CG and just showed,
Yeah.
okay, this was done with the cheap, and you can barely tell the difference, and you're like, okay,
Uh-huh.
why did they spend like $1 million or whatever they spent on it,
Exactly. And I worry about the future of some of the VFX industry specifically because of this. If you've got some little kid with a couple of 1080s who's able to produce the same type of content as a company like Lola, it's like, dude, of people out of a job.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I think that's what people are worried about. That's what happened with the recording industry.
Yeah.
Oh, I can buy a MacBook from Apple and I have a recording studio.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't think it's going to be as easy of a thing for us to be out of it. We still have to know how to do it. Your average person still can't but they're working on apps that are going to make it easier for you to just just enter the photos, enter the video, hit a button.
Yeah, think about it. Think about it too. You use something like that, or like the Apple's, iPhone stuff, where it's tracking your 3D tracking your face.
Yeah.
You just put an input of a whole bunch of pictures, and then it'll automatically change your face. So then your FaceTiming is someone else, and you're like, hey,
you're not going to know what to believe anymore. And that's the thing.
Exactly, dude. You're talking about fake news right now.
Oh, I know.
Imagine how bad it's gonna get.
And that's the thing about the fakes you see right now usually are still photos, and you're like, oh, that's Photoshop. That's a Photoshop. That's a Photoshop. And if you see a video and you don't quite believe that the video is real, it's a lot less likely that it's a fake video. It might be a fake video, but you just don't. It's more likely that if it's a still, it's going to be a fake. If you think something's a fake.
Yeah.
Because if you see a video, you're like, oh, that's fake. You're like, okay, well, somebody had to do like a whole bunch of work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had to do like a crap ton of work to make that happen. And it's just, it's very easy to spot a fake video. I think right now, I think it's going to get so much harder. You're not going to know what to believe anymore. And what I'm thinking of with this whole thing is the legal implications of it too. Like, okay. So if you put a I don't know, you put let's say Facebook, for example, you can get all these views of somebody, all these different views to train the software of somebody on Facebook.
You just point it to someone's Facebook page and say grab all these pictures.
Yes, and then it goes in and puts that on pornography. What are the legal implications of that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like, wait a minute, it's not slander, but it's using someone's it's like what, like there's a whole new realm of legal garbage that's going to come out of this, because it's like you're using someone else's likeness, and I don't know what this is going to do. This is going to be tough because people are going to first of all, like what do you call it, the the one people are getting in trouble for posting girlfriend
revenge
videos,
porn and stuff.
Revenge porn. That's bad enough as it is, and then you fake it, and what are the legal implications of that? How does that work? Oh, well, it's not really that person, so can you sue them? Can you not sue them? Like, I don't know what's going on there. No, Windows, I don't want to do some random update in the middle of the day. Stop it. God, I hate Windows and Skype. God, Skype sucks.
Need to get on that Pro, dude. Now, did you also see? Did you see that video? I don't know if it was posted on Facebook or Reddit or something, where they AI trained like to see people's bodies and put a new texture on someone's body.
Oh, was that the one someone in the chat was talking about just now? I saw something come through. I missed it.
I don't know, but it's
something called dense pose. It's an AI-based crowd human pose thing, and so many people are in here saying hi. What's up? What's up, everybody? I love you all.
Yeah, I think that might be it. But like they were showing this off and they were replacing people's clothing with like, hairy men's chests and stuff like that. It's like, dude, if you can change someone's face and you can change someone's body,
Uh-huh.
eventually we're all just going to be like you're going to have like 12, you know? I don't know.
Oh, oh, technology! What a time to be alive.
Yeah, seriously, this AI stuff, man, it can get like intense. Like I think it's going to put a lot of us out of business.
I don't know if it's going to put us out of business. I just think it's going to change the way we do stuff, really.
Yeah, here's a question. What about clients asking for deep fake work? I can see an assistant director asking for it if they just know it can be done efficiently.
But it
Can't
isn't
we,
real
can't we just
quick.
replace their face real quick?
It's not real quick, though.
Yeah.
Even
From what
deepfakes needs training time, and you don't know if it's going to turn out well. That's the
right,
thing.
right, right, right.
If it doesn't turn out well, then what?
Yeah. And it's
So,
not something that you can really control that well, like you're doing
right,
in post or something.
right,
But still, the better and better it gets, instead of throwing a bunch of pictures and something at it for 10 hours, you may be able to knock it out in 1 hour. At what
right.
point does it become more cost effective for you to just throw it at a deepfakes versus, doing it yourself? I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah.
And I threw that in Ravcock just because, that's kind of like graphics cards and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I thought it was a decent place for it. It's really not a render engine, but it's I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so, I mean, I don't know what else to say, but it's really interesting where all of that's going. And again, this stuff gets propelled by pornography, which is really weird.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason, if you haven't heard that story, that's why VHS is popular, because it was between that and Betamax, and
Hmm.
all the stuff, most of the stuff that you could like buy or rent, I guess, was on VHS. And so that's just
Yeah.
the one that prevailed.
Yep. Even though Betamax actually had better quality.
Right. And I actually thought at first that HD DVD was going to prevail over Blu-ray for that same reason.
I thought so too.
Which is why I invested in HD DVD stuff, and then it all went away. I was a little
That's
upset
funny.
about that because,
Yeah.
I still have my Xbox 360 HD DVD standalone player that you can hook into the back.
That's hilarious.
So anyway, I wanted to get onto another topic as well, which is networking, and is there such a thing as over networking? And I wanted to
Mhm.
give some examples of some people that I've talked to recently that are actually what I would say over networkers. You know what I mean? Do you know
Over
what I mean by
networkers.
over networkers?
I feel like that's like a ton of people on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
like
And
people on my
Rick Bogus, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, we were just talking about
We were
you.
like, well, you haven't heard from Rick Bogus in a long time. Wow, there's too much chat for me to even. I'm gonna have to go back and read the chat in a second. So just keep chatting, and I'll go back. We'll go back and catch up on the links in a second. So let's
Yeah.
okay. Over networking. Now, over networking is have any work for you.
Sorry, say that again. I lost you
Somebody
over Skype.
somebody wants to do work with you, which is cool,
Yes.
but they
Yes.
don't have a project for you.
Yes.
They just want to talk about what you're going to do all the time, and it's like, but we're not doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the deal. So I get people who call and talk. It's like networking. Okay, great. I
Mhm.
like to network. I like to talk to
Yeah.
people about networking. But
Yeah.
it's like, oh well, we see what you guys are doing, and we really like to partner up with you. I'm like, well, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to
What do you
take
mean?
some of
Do you
my
want
business? Like, what are you
exactly?
talking about? What do you
If
you
if
first
you're
first you're
talking
like,
about like going out and getting the work and then sending it our way and creating a kind of partnership that way, absolutely, I'm totally
right,
down.
but
If you're
that
talking
doesn't
about
mean
like
you can put your work on our work on your website.
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
that's number one. And that's not even part of the deal, but that's the first thing. They want to put your work on their site. Oh, I'm going to sell it. I'm like, no, you're trying to sell yourself,
yeah,
and you're not necessarily going to bring that business. But that's not the over networking part. The over networking part is talking and talking and calling and emailing and asking the same questions and
Mhm.
saying, okay, well, what can we do? I really want to work with you. I'm like, okay, we'll bring some business and we'll do some work together. When
Yeah.
I talk to somebody and find out, oh, you're a Houdini guy, I would love to do some Houdini stuff. I would
Yeah.
like to do something complicated enough to where we need Houdini, and I will
Yeah.
hire you to do that. What I
Yes.
don't do is call up Houdini Mark every day on the phone and say, so, I really like to work with you. We need to, what's the next step here? What's the
Yeah.
next step, Houdini Mark, so we can work together? He would say, well, what's your project? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, nothing, but I thought we could work together. This is a really good industry. It's making a lot of money. You can see it's just, the industry is just taking off. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I'm in it.
Yeah.
So, so what do you want to do? Well, we could work together and we could, collaborate on these big projects.
Mhm.
Okay. So what's the next step? I don't know. Bring me some work.
Yeah.
Like this has been happening with me with a few people here recently, and it's just like, okay, I'm busy.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
doing a lot
spending
of stuff.
half of your day talking to this person about, you know, you're basically
And at first you think it's
educating
potential
them about
business.
this. Yeah, you're educating them about this entire industry and stuff like that. And it's like, dude,
Right.
I don't have time for this,
Right. And it's not to
Like,
be like a beehole about it. It's just
yeah.
like, okay, I've got to make money. I got to get back to my paying clients right now. So you
Mhm.
got to tell me, what do you got? What do you got for me? Like, you're great. I want to do business with you, but what do you got?
Yep.
Because we don't have anywhere to go from here unless you got some money,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the question comes, well, maybe I could just package this. How much would a 60-second video cost? I don't know. What's your script? What are we doing? Are we shooting
Yeah.
something? Are we not shooting something? Is it all
Yeah.
CG? Is it not? Is it flat? Is it 2D, 2.5D? What's your script?
Yeah.
What's your budget? Like, let's work on this here. Well,
Mhm.
I'm sure we could come up with something. Just, give me a rough estimate. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, so this like over networking thing drives me nuts because it's like, okay, dude,
Mhm.
like, let's do something. And I feel like I'm not going to bug other people. I'm not going to call up Houdini Mark every day and chat his ear off about what we could be doing because
Yeah.
you got to go get somebody who wants to do it first. So like concentrate on that.
Yeah, totally.
And I understand that people who are not in this industry who like want to have a producer role or kind of that role of, okay, I'm going to get these companies together and
Mhm.
I'm going to make a little money off the back end because I brought
Yeah.
them the business. That's
Yeah.
fine. Bring in someone who does the shooting, someone who does the graphics, someone who does whatever, right?
Mhm.
But like, I get that part of it. I know that this industry looks very exciting to them if they haven't seen it before,
Mhm.
and they want to chat it up. I get that. And it would be fine. Let's go grab a beer or something and chat it up. That's cool.
Yeah, and a bit more informal like that is it's amazing how much buying someone lunch or buying them a drink or just kind of treating them in a way, you know
But that's
it's
regular
amazing
networking.
how, yeah, I know, but it's amazing how much
Yeah.
more like you'll get from someone or how much of a better relationship you'll form with someone by
Right.
doing that versus just chatting their ear off and saying what's the next step.
Well, that's the thing. Again, that's regular networking. But when you get a call every day, it's like,
Mhm.
dude, I don't know what to tell you. You still don't have a project.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
But
Now, the over networking stuff, it's like what I've noticed on LinkedIn is, I'm connected to like 300 people and
mhm,
maybe two people are actually sharing stuff all the time,
right,
constantly sharing work or sharing,
right.
other stuff. And I guess that's fine. LinkedIn, whatever, but it's like eventually it's just going to get to the point. I don't know. Like with that,
LinkedIn is glorified Facebook.
yeah, it's not glorified.
It's not even
there,
glorified.
there's no glorification of Facebook.
Yeah, that's true. It's just another version of Facebook that has less activity and is very schmoozy.
Yeah, it's super schmoozy.
It doesn't mean it doesn't always work.
Yeah,
Some people like do it up and make it
yeah,
work for their advantage. But I feel like there's a lot of cycles that go into doing LinkedIn, like
it's Microsoft
fully.
Facebook. That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, Microsoft, Facebook, nice. Tokyo Megaplex. So, Okay, now that we're done with that topic, I'll go back into the chat. Let's see what we got. I know we got some
Someone said, "Please say my wife," and remember,
my wife. There we go.
at least
I don't
that's
know.
funny when you say it.
Um, did I? Oh, can I not? Can I not go back in the chat? Okay, we.
I've been checking it out. I've been following
Okay.
along and saying what up. We're good. Don't worry.
Rick Bogus is back. Have we done any further learning and experimenting in on Unity? So that's fun.
Yeah.
Been learning about Unity. What I would like to do next, my God knows when this is going to happen, but I thought it would be a fun thing to. I'm trying to do. I want to do one VR thing, even if it's not even complicated, just walking around a model, right?
Yeah.
So my plan is I would like to rebuild my childhood home in Octane, and
Okay.
bake the textures out into a Unity project, and you can go walk around your childhood home. I think that would be a fun experiment to build and learn how to do VR.
Or you could just go knock on the front door of your actual the old home and say, "Hey, I used to live here. Can I just walk through and see it?" I've done that before.
Really?
Yeah, when I was younger.
But the whole point is to learn Unity in VR. It's not to go.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you could just create a game.
Yeah, but there's a lot more that goes into a game than just putting a model.
What was it? Your dick butt grabber? Or
dick butt grabber. Is that what it was?
I don't remember.
Yeah, where they were
something.
They were running around doing something or other. I lost the files for that. I think I have I think I have the game on Dropbox, but my brand new computer crashed right after I started making it. What else do we have here? Kira. Rick Bogus. We're glad you're back, Rick Bogus. Tokyo Megaplex, what's up? Ryan, what's up? Sage is in the house too. Somebody's
Kira,
name.
I love your stuff. Kira's stuff is awesome. She's doing a lot of Redshift stuff.
Oh yes, the Redshift stuff. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I noticed that Liam is like asking her a lot of stuff in the live stream, like, "Hey, so how do you do this?"
Yeah.
And then somebody whose name I don't know how to pronounce because I think it's in Arabic says hi.
Yeah.
Is that Arabic?
I think so. I don't know.
Tokyo Megaplex Sage.
Hi everyone.
531. That's Liam Fart Fingers and Sage. All right. So I think we covered the chat. So let's get back to the dingus now. So let's go to other topics that we got going on here today. And some various links and stuff I'd like to talk about. Number one is studio lighting. HDRs are on Polygon now.
Haven't they been for a while?
This is something I got an email about the other day. They had HDRs. They just added skies and stuff like that.
Okay.
But this is studio lighting HDRs.
Dude, the guy who runs Polygon, Andrew Price, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he's awesome. Like I like the emails. Like I actually enjoy the emails that he sends out and stuff because I feel like he's trying to educate the community as well as pushing his product, but it's like, hey, we're actually caring about all the people who are using our end clients and stuff like that, which is cool. So big shout out to him. Good job. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so the studio lighting, another thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that Houdini has changed some things. Their indie will now export 4K.
Yes. This is like the Houdini channel was blowing up about this. Like, this is huge news.
Like, it's happening. Yeah.
So indie is now can now do 4K. And the price has actually gone up a little bit. It was, I believe it was $199. Is that right? And now it's $269. Or if you do a 2-year license, it's $399, which is basically the same as the, doing the 1-year license again. So, and like seriously, like, so you're talking Houdini Indie. You can now do 4K. What was the other thing that there was something else with it? I don't remember.
Did they add some functionality of the higher versions, or what's the deal there?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go back and look. But anyway, go on.
All right. Oh, something I wanted to talk about real quick when we were talking about deepfakes, by the way, was this thing called Lyrebird, Lyrebird, and
Mhm.
it's actually you can like train and make your own voice, your own synthesized voice out of your own voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the other thing that I was going to say, here it is. You can also actually install it on two
Oh yeah,
computers now, like
right,
your
right,
personal and your work computer, which is pretty awesome.
right.
There it is. Yeah, Grant,
Yeah.
thanks.
All right. So the Lyrebird or whatever it's
Hmm.
called, Leary Bird, I tried it out. It's okay.
Yeah.
But you go in and you train it like 30 different sentences,
Hmm.
and then it makes a digital voice print of your own voice, and you can like make yourself say things by just typing it in.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
very
Raid Zero sent me something the other day, and I was like, "Wow, you sound like a crappy version of Siri."
Oh, did he try it? That's
Yeah,
funny. That's
that's pretty
funny.
funny.
All right. The other thing, speaking of the HDRs, is that Manhattan Nights version 2
Yes.
has been released, HDR pack, and it's
Yes.
great. I was playing with it last night. We bought a copy. It's $20,
Hmm. He's
and
actually charging this time because he knows how good it is. Good
mhm.
for you.
Yeah. So
Well
there's a
worth it.
Gumroad link. We'll put that in the show notes as well. And other link that I have here is this is an Unreal Unity type deal. I forget which software it was. It was probably Unreal, because Unreal is a little more realistic, I think, when it comes to like real-time rendering and stuff. So
Hmm.
this is called Exploring the Limits of Real-Time Rendering, and somebody used like a lot of like mega scans,
Hmm.
polygon stuff, and did this like real-time, really, really great looking stuff um, in the video game engine. Now I don't
Yeah.
know exactly what kind of hardware you would need to drive something like this, but it was just a pretty cool thing to check out and see, okay, this is where real time is going.
Yeah.
So, um, something else we talked about, if you looked at some of our really, really early videos from Brograph when we were experimenting with some Cinema 4D plugins,
Hmm.
there was a plugin called Grip Tools, and it allowed you to hook a lot of things into a lot of other things, like hook a Wii controller into Cinema or your gimbal motion stuff from your iPhone into Cinema to control the camera, or
Hmm.
that kind of thing. And we messed with that, but I wasn't sure where it was going, to tell you the truth. If
Yeah.
the company was still around, if he was still updating the plugins, because I talked to him online way back in the day,
Hmm.
and um, there is now Grip Tools IO now has this fully functional like GUI interface thing that will basically go from anything to anything, including Cinema 4D. It uses OSC. If you've heard of OSC like protocol,
Hmm.
um, you can
Holy
mix
cow.
OSC. It's really cool. It has that kind of graphical interface
Yeah.
that Reason does, where you have like the different patches that you can,
Uh-huh.
you know, click
It's kind of
into
like a
each
big
other.
node base thing.
Not Raspberry, but what's the thing that you can do with Raspberry? Not Akira. It
I don't know.
not Akamai. It'll come to me. Someone in the chat will do it. It's basically it goes with Raspberry Pi. It lets you do like robotics and
Hmm.
circuitry and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Somebody will remember what it is. Stuff you can buy at Radio Shack or whatever. But
Right.
um, you can interface with that. You can interface with lighting consoles and DMX
Are
and
you thinking Adrenos?
phones. Adreno, that's what it is. And
Okay.
um, so that's what this does. So, like, for example, if you wanted to have something in Cinema 4D drive a motor, or you have
Hmm.
some servo and you turn it in real life and it makes something happen in Cinema, you can patch that. It's kind of like
That is
this.
so crazy.
It's like this Swiss Army knife interface that allows you to get from Cinema to something or something into Cinema. So the
Uh-huh.
potential is incredible, and that's why I've been surprised that it's actually not more popular. The only thing I believe is that it's like one of those yearly licenses, and that really just kind of grinds my gears. I would rather pay
Right.
full price, pay for a level, and just have it forever.
Is it one of those annual subscription?
Yeah, that I can't stand
Ooh,
that, because I'll buy a piece of software and a year later be like, okay, now I can finally
yeah.
use this for
Especially at
something.
$3.99.
Uh,
That's a 20% discount right
you
now.
really have to use it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
before, the plugins like the ones I have were permanent. And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't know if they work with the new version anymore, but
I
at least
think
they
you
were
can
permanent.
do an upgrade price, discount to upgrade prices.
Yeah,
So,
see, I used to upgrade the old ones, but it wasn't a yearly thing, and that kind of gets to me. I
mhm.
don't feel I don't get my value out of these things that fast. Like we got
Yeah.
licenses for Houdini and we started messing around with it, but we didn't have enough time and now they
Mhm.
expired. And it's like, what do
Yeah.
we spend the money for?
Yeah.
You know, now, okay, today I have time to learn it. Oops, it's expired,
Hmm.
you know? So, um,
It looks cool. There's a free 30-day trial, so you can at least experiment and stuff.
that's a good way to do it. I think,
Of course, it says data output to Cinema 4D can be repeatedly previewed for 20 seconds. So apparently, you can only preview it for 20 seconds.
right. So here's the thing about that. Nick
Mhm.
Campbell actually did this with, oh, what's the software called? Why is
I
my
don't
mind
know.
blank? Ableton.
Oh, okay.
And he said, okay, if I can create X amount of songs in 30 days with this trial, then I will allow myself to buy the software. So
Right.
that's what he did. So you can go on SoundCloud and listen to some sweet Nick Campbell beats.
Yeah.
And I believe he finished it up and he bought himself a copy, I guess. I never really saw what happened in the end on
Yeah.
that.
No.
But so there'll be a link to that in the show notes. Let's
Mhm.
see what else we got here. Okay, World Creator. Let's talk about this. This is something. Is this new? How new is this?
I don't know how new this is, but Raid Zero posted this in the Slack this weekend, and I'm looking at it, and it okay. So I'm sitting in my living room, my kid's playing, so I decide to stream this to my TV, because I'll just sometimes sit in front of my 50-inch TV and watch tutorials, which is really stupid, And so I
Okay.
threw this up there, and it's cool. I was watching it and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, easily create some stuff. Okay, the UI looks pretty easy to use, and then at one point they showed something where I went, whoa, that I was
What was
absolutely
it?
just okay, so
Like I don't remember.
no. So you've got you start off with basically, this square patch of, randomly created stuff, and you can add different kind of modifiers, right?
Okay.
To
All right.
change, you can add erosion, you can add plateaus and stuff like that. But then he went back and each little square or each little area is broken up into 4 by 4 circles. So 4 circles by 4 circles, right?
Okay.
And then you can grab the individual circles and raise them up and move them down in order to adjust all the individual spots. It was absolutely cool that you could instantly see that feedback. And because it's done, it's GPU based, you get that feedback instantly, which is
Nice.
way cool. You don't have to wait the ridiculous amount of time like you do in what is it, Dem Earth or World Machine or whatever.
Dim Earth though.
Dem Earth though. Oh, look at you! You did the live thing. That's nice.
Oh yeah,
With the World Creator.
on the thing. Yeah.
On the...
Yeah. Well, I don't
So
like
yeah,
to talk about it because people are gonna be like, I can't see it because it's on the audio. Yeah, I know.
that's okay.
So,
But yeah, it's cool. And so then you can also create maps, distribution maps and stuff like that.
mhm.
So you can preview, say you throw some rocks in there and you can preview where the distribution, and then export that as a distribution map, and then bring that in, and you can use that map to run your scatter within Octane.
Oh, right.
Which
Because
would be
you have to have the
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very, very cool looking. So yeah,
man.
this rocks. It's
rocks.
very, very cool. If you get a chance, I definitely would check out World Creator, because
Yeah, maybe we should buy this.
man, that's what I was thinking.
I think
and
we should buy this just for research purposes.
maybe we wait until we have a reason to use
Well,
it.
it's cheap, and here's the thing:
Yeah.
like, if you there are different levels, and like I was talking
Uh-huh.
about before, with the whole, okay, well, how long do you get to use this? That's
So
the first thing I
this-
thought of.
This you have a permanent license, but it's like cinema, where you can pay a certain amount every year to
upgrade
do all
it.
the upgrades. Yeah.
But the
So-
prices are not bad. Let's talk about standard license is
So the
1
standard
user, it's
license,
$149.
Yeah, I don't think you would want to get the standard license because that
It's
limits
missing
you
a
to fourth.
lot.
It's missing a lot, but it also it limits you to the size that you can export your maps to 4K by 4K.
Mhm.
Versus this other one, you can go all the way up to 16K for your
Mhm.
texture maps, which is
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Well, there's a lot of other stuff too that you don't get.
Mm-hmm.
Custom height maps, VR mode, whatever that is, infinite
Mhm.
worlds, non-real-time mode, tessellation, pattern filters, image overlays, curve editors, wind filters,
Yeah.
terrain. There's so much, and beta access to new versions you do not get. But the thing is that standard and professional, like professional has all of this stuff, and professional is only
There's professional and
$289.
enterprise, right? Professional and enterprise or
It's
whatever.
extra $140. You should go ahead and
Yeah.
do it.
I agree.
Mac
anyway.
and Linux versions are not out yet, but they are coming.
Yeah. PC
And
version.
it says Unity plugin too if you get the Bundaroo.
Yeah, if you get
So
the
the Bundaroo is $389.
Yeah,
And you get
and
the
that'll
Unity
give you
plugin. That could
the
be
Unity
cool.
plugin. So I don't know.
want that.
You should post the link that I sent you.
Uh-huh.
And so that you guys can check it out. This is someone who is taking the world creator stuff and then bringing it into Cinema 4D in Octane, which is really cool.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. That is world-creator.com.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Totes my lotes.
Totes.
My goats. Next up on the agenda, let me get out my notes because they're not open.
I know what we're doing.
Oh yeah,
This is for all the people who wanted the man. I love that transition. It looks so good.
Oh, the
Yeah.
the stinger, the Brograph stinger transition for the video.
That's nice. Well done, sir.
Thank you. All right. Well, let's do some Beeple's people. First of all, before we get going, this isn't one of Beeple's people that I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to do an aside. If you are following along at home, go to January 26th, year of our Lord 2018. 26. Let's see. I've got to find it myself.
Twitter.com/Beeple.
6. Okay. The only reason I brought this up is because we were talking about the timeline and we were talking about the years. So 2073.
Wait, which day is this again? I'm sorry.
This is January 26th, year of our Lord 2018.
Okay, January 26th.
Yeah. So if you are following along at home, check that out. So Genius Bar 2073. My question is, does this fit the timeline that we were talking about? Because Houdini Mark has his theories, stuff like that, right? So it's a crappy Apple Genius Bar with the like it
right
the pea jars and the whole thing going on, right? And the weird what do you call it, the corrugated truck, what are they called, shipping containers? Shipping container houses,
yeah.
So this is supposed to be Apple, and we had other versions of this that are like crappy version of Amazon, crappy version of Google, that kind of thing, right? And so my question is 2773 in the timeline that Mark came up with? Does this fit? Were the other ones also 2073, or were they different years?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what the dates were on those.
So we're going to have to figure that out.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do this as an actual Beeple's People because I think we've done a lot of the dystopian future corporations already. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of the general theme, is like a crappy version of Apple, a crappy version of Facebook, a crappy version of Google, Amazon, whatever in the future, right? Where there's just like dystopian, all right. So another thing is that I love is that he's putting these animations up along with the dailies, which is really cool. And then the first one I wanted to go to today to actually do is February 2nd. It's called NY Chroma.
Mm-hmm.
Pull
Well,
that up here.
he was in New York, I think, at this time, right?
Right. And that always seems to
Yeah.
influence his work where he's
So
at. So
I definitely would say this has a 9/11 whatever feel, Twin Towers type feel.
definitely, you got the two
The
beams of
two
light
beams. Yeah.
where they were, and it says NY. So it's like a futuristic New York with more buildings, more futuristic buildings, more compact. And apparently the ground is made out of circuit boards now. That's what happens
Right.
in the future, guys. I hope you guys realize that.
Yeah. Tokyo Megaplex said very Falcon heavy feel to it.
I'm going to
SpaceX
guess.
vibes.
I'm going to guess Redshift.
Yeah. I'll go with you on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's just my guess. I don't know. Very interesting to me is the background, kind of the lines going on in the background, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. It looks like a Ray Epsilon issue. I know it's not. I'm just saying it looks like it.
I don't know. I think there was probably an overlay of some sort. Like maybe he just created a weird gradient with like lines and put it on a sky or something. I don't know.
How does this fit into the narrative?
If
anybody online has any fan theories at this point, just let us know.
I think this is the I don't know, maybe this is the super city,
Mm-hmm.
This is the city right before the fall.
Do you think that the monument to the Twin Towers, never forget, are somehow like different in the future, like related to space travel, or is this just for show?
That's actually a good thought, because maybe those beams are the ones that are transporting people,
It's like a data stream of people.
Right. Ooh, that's good.
Maybe it at least gets them to the moon.
Right.
So that they can then jump in a portal or
data
something.
stream via light. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I think that's where that might be going.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So I don't have any more to say on that one. What about you?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, let's move to February 5th. It's called Early Rise.
Oh, I loved this one.
Now here's the deal.
Oh, yeah,
we're going to tie it in here,
there
right?
It is.
So that beam goes up to the moon.
Uh-huh.
So this is the top of the beam coming from the other angle, correct?
Yes.
Now it has shattered the existing portal for some reason. I don't know why that is, but maybe that was done on purpose to put it in the same location. Now, I have no idea how the beam is going to go from New York to the moon at all times, because the moon moves and the Earth moves.
Here it is. You have to build some sort of device to accept the people first. And so that guy on the moon was the one who put the initial structure there as like kind of the beacon to say, this is where the laser needs to shoot it from.
Okay. Gotcha.
In actually shooting the laser, it destroys the original device, but then it keeps a constant stream. That's why he puts it up there. The stream comes down, destroying the initial device, and then he's able to walk into the data stream and then go, start.
You better hurry, because he doesn't have a helmet on.
Right.
He's been up there holding his breath for a long time.
It's funny.
I'm guessing these are Forester rocks, possibly. If you look at the look at the terrains in the background. That's definitely Cinema 4D terrains. Can you see, like on the right side, and it's actually above the ground plane, so you can see the edge of the terrain objects in cinema.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
So I'm guessing, there's a little bit of just some generic terrains in cinema with some scattered Forester rocks on it.
Yeah.
And Octane or Redshift, I have no idea. I really don't. It's too hard to tell once these things are kind of
dirtied up,
like in Photoshop and all of that.
Yeah.
So
post-processed, not dirtied up. They're beautiful.
Well, dirtied up in a good way.
Yeah. Getting dirty in a good way.
This is, I think it's all Photoshop.
No, Mark said, is he waiting for people to show up? He is not waiting for people to show up, because if you see the animation, he actually goes into...
he did the animation. Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
realize.
you should see this, because he actually walks into the data stream.
Dude,
He walks into the data stream.
how good are we at predicting this? Because I did not see that, and he's walking into the data stream.
The thing
we
is,
are on
like,
the same wavelength, Mike.
Yeah.
He wrote march into the effing light on it too.
Yep. Seriously.
So that's what
and
it is.
Notice,
He's going
notice the glitches in the stream. Notice the glitches in the stream. Oh, is that playing music as well? That's funny.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys. Can't hear us talking on the live stream. Okay. All right. Cool.
That's cool. All right. Awesome.
All right. So the last one we're going to do, if we go to February 9th, it is called, oh, by the way, I just have to say I love February 8th, Thermal Winter.
That's pretty cool,
The rainbow stuff and the pink trees and junk.
Yeah.
But I love Walk Cycle. This is great. On this now, the first thing you see on this, of course, is going to be the fact that there's fog. And the question is going to be, okay, you got a little...
I totally think that's Redshift. Yeah.
I think Redshift, because it's a lot easier to do kind of the God Ray type thing in there. Love the light poles.
I love the composition. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Well, it's still hard to say, but you can see what's going on with the fog. If you look at the first pole on the right, you can see kind of where the fog starts. There's kind of a hard, I don't know, like maybe that was either set there or maybe this is something he didn't post. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so you can see where that fog is. But again, that's why I'm thinking Redshift, just because of the difficulty in getting those kind of rays. Walk Cycle too. I'm wondering was there a video version of this with a cycle? Maybe he hadn't done it yet, but
I don't think so.
The fact that it's called Walk Cycle makes me think that he was working on a video moving version of this, which would be really cool looking with the God rays.
Yeah, it would be
junk like that. But as far as story now,
I think this is the other planet. I think this is the other planet that they're terraforming. And these are the big people, not the little
big people's people, not the little people's people.
Big people's people.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, but what are they doing? What are the power lines for? See, these are the things we don't know.
They're just enjoying. They're enjoying nature as they
walk through the power lines.
Yeah, as the stories that they've been told, of the past, they're enjoying nature.
Gotcha. Okay.
From the sound, the stories that have been passed from their forefathers and their forefathers about how there used to be, trees and fog and atmosphere, and you didn't have all this technology, and now it's here. Yeah. And there were interesting trees with lines coming from it. You had oak trees and palm trees and electricity trees.
Nice. Well, Sage got a link for Tokyo Megaplex, who was looking for the link to Nick Vegas's latest tracks on SoundCloud.
That's
so
Nick Campbell.
Nick Campbell. So
follow him.
Yeah. So I'm posting that in our own dingus so that I don't forget.
Sage said on the little thing, "Here's the Brograph instant replay."
Oh. Let's move to. I believe we're moving into some email social stuff because we got quite a bit of emails. If you would like to send an email, again, the address is brograph@brograph.com. Send in your questions, comments, concerns, show topic ideas, and whatnot, and we'll talk about them. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the chat because I'm thinking maybe some people have some stuff to say about these emails. Because some people have some questions and some of them are difficult. So it might be something we'll have to, chew on or think about and tackle. And maybe some people have some good input. First of all,
if you're not on the chat and you've got something to comment about something like this, at any of these questions, we'd love to hear from you guys. Brograph@brograph.com. Just hit us up. We'd love to know your thoughts.
Josh Foster, he sent this actually a while back. This is January 25th. He said, "What up, bros? Enjoyed the discussion on on Houdini on the last episode. I don't think nodes themselves are the primary reason why some people get turned off from Houdini, but I think that how to manipulate attributes throughout networks. It's such a fundamental part to Houdini's workflow, yet vastly different than anything in cinema.
Yeah.
I think the scripting and math is also an aspect that deters people.
Mhm.
A lot of beginner tutorials seem to jump into Vex and VOPs pretty quickly, and it can be intimidating for those with no background in coding.
Mhm.
Dave, I would recommend checking out 3D Buzz's Houdini Fundamental series. I'll have to check that out. Jason Busby, rest in peace, was an outstanding instructor, and he does a very thorough job in explaining the core concepts at a slow pace. There are two downsides. You'll have to endure the lowest resolution tutorials you've probably ever watched before.
I actually started watching these on this recommendation. Yeah,
Okay.
it's good. He goes into the history of, at least the first one I watched. He goes into the history of, side effects and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as I got.
And then, if they're 480p, the first 8 are 240p. Oh my God.
That's funny.
And here we are watching stuff in 4K. They use Houdini 9, so some parts are outdated, and I'll also echo Mark and recommend Adam Swab's Houdini Jumpstart on Hello Lux. Stephen Nipping's Applied Houdini training is also extremely helpful for intermediate users. Thanks again for the entertainment during my commute. Thanks, Josh Foster.
Yeah. Sage said espresso is hard enough. Sage said espresso is hard enough,
Yeah.
Oh, he redacted it. He retracted it. Never mind. I take it back.
Why did he retract it?
I don't know.
It's not retracted on the screen, though.
He did yeah, I know. Tip my hats to you good people, to the Houdini people. So, which
All
espresso, it's interesting, like when you're talking about Houdini and espresso and like, comparing the two, I've noticed a very, maybe not a lot of people know this, when you're working with an espresso, you can highlight a whole bunch of your individual nodes and put them into one node, and that's very similar to the way at least I've seen Houdini work, where you've got like this whole, structure of nodes inside of a node, almost like a pre-comp of a pre-comp or something like that, and you can do that similar with espresso.
Slabo Video says, I always have trouble whenever I have to texture a surface with a large area. Any tips and tricks to avoid repeated patterns? I wish we could generate large area textures with substance. This is a live question, by the way.
Yeah.
And, it is tough to do that tiling. First thing I would say is that there is a really cool, I'm going to have to find a link, or maybe you can Google it. There's a really cool way to avoid that using the what do you call it, the new things in the new Octane. God, why is my mind blank right now? The programmy things that you add on. The God. OSL. There's OSL shaders that will help do these mix things, so it doesn't look as repetitive.
Yeah.
I saw somebody was posting some experiments with that on the Facebook group a couple months ago.
Yeah, but I think they were doing grass, which, that's different.
And the thing about repetitive textures is there are good ways to cover it up. I've had to do that. I had to do that when I was messing around the live stream was it last week on the live stream? Yeah. Rick Bogus says OSL. Rick Bogus. You haven't been around in a little while. You got to catch up with the octanes. Got that OSL. Maybe he's suggesting that's what I was thinking.
No, he is.
Yes. Oh, maybe he knows what it is. He's just okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you are right then, Rick. What I do is I mix stuff together in order to.
I was gonna say I had a brick texture, that was going across a really big wall, and it was obvious. But when you mix that down, like do a multiply with like some C40 noise or something like that, like you can't tell a difference because you get these subtle variations, brick's going to look the same in every single brick. It's the variation of the shading that causes it to look different. So if you throw some noise, even
Right.
if it's like, and think about it, like most of the time you are not going to get the exact same texture on everything. You throw just some basic noise over the top of it and that'll clean up. That'll make it less noticeable.
I think if you can get away with it, putting less contrast into whatever texture is super repetitive, I think makes it
Mhm.
less obvious if there's less contrast. But it's really just mixing big textures on top of small textures.
Mhm.
You know, anything you could do to add some like different layers of bump mapping, displacement, you know,
Mhm.
that just causes more and more variation. You'll see a lot less of that. Rick Bogus, yes, you are woke. Totally woke.
Yep.
Dog. Yo, the man now, dog.
Roll the man now, dog.
Let's go to the next question from the emails. This is Alexander Wirtz. This podcast question says, just finished listening to the backlog of your podcast and decided to finally send you an email.
Thanks,
As
man.
someone who's interested in all areas of Cinema 4D as well as video editing / production, I was wondering, what kind of advice do you have for marketing yourself as a generalist in 3D and video? Do you have different portfolios for different expertise? For example, one for modeling, one for character animation, one for video editing. I specifically worry about having problems demonstrating different types of skills in a reel for future career opportunities and freelance jobs. First of all,
I totally get that. I
Yeah.
totally get that. You know,
a
it's
long time
very-
ago, I used to mix it,
Yeah, me too.
but
Me
it's
too.
kind of like,
It depends. Like I feel like I don't know. At one point, okay. Here's some advice, and it may not be the best advice. You know.
it's like my brother and me.
Right. So my advice would be pick the thing that you want to do the most and really like that you want to get the most work
Mm-hmm.
for, you know?
What's your specialty?
Exactly. I
flavor?
mean, do what's your flavor? That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
If you want to do mostly 3D work,
Mhm.
show off a lot of 3D work. If you want to do a lot of video effects work, show off a lot of video effects work. I wouldn't say you can mix VFX and 3D animation together. In my opinion, that's okay, but don't mix
I
like
agree.
editing and VFX and 3D. You know, like if you're just trying to show off this is a piece that
Yeah.
I edited.
It
you
depends
know,
on the
this is a
VFX too.
story. Yeah, I mean if it has VFX in it or something, but editing reels like this is a piece that I edited that I just like, you know, there were no VFX,
Yeah.
no 3D stuff. That's
what I'm saying though is like if you're doing VFX in your motion graphics reel, it's gotta be like, oh, explosions and this thing falls apart and this and that. Don't put in the thing where you mocha tracked something into the background and did some sort of replacement, because that's not interesting in your motion graphics reel.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna be like, oh, this is what I did, and you're gonna do the obligatory like wipe that goes over it and shows, you know, what it looked like before and after,
Yeah.
all that. But that doesn't really fit with your like fast-paced motion graphics reel.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it depends on the VFX. I feel like you should have some great examples of your mocha tracking and like subtle stuff. You wouldn't believe how many shots on television
Mhm.
have VFX stuff done to them that you don't even realize.
Right.
Case in point, there's a particular project that we're working on right now where
Mhm.
it's a TV show that's coming out and it's literally just replacing things or erasing things. And your
Mhm.
average person who watches it isn't going to realize that somebody did VFX for all these shots to erase stuff out of the scene. They're going to think it was just a normal shot.
Right. Right.
You don't want to put that in your motion graphics reel.
Yeah.
You know, but I can see like if you do a lot of that, you're going to want to show that off. You're going to want to
Yeah.
have examples of that, but that's a separate reel.
Yeah.
But again, if you're doing like crazy explosion VFX, you know, and making something blow up and all that, yeah, it's a lot of like 2D or like compositing, but it's interesting enough to go in a motion graphics reel.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
I tried to do that mix a long time ago, and at the bottom I'd put like titles like editing.
Yeah. And I've seen a few people
Titling.
who do that, you know,
Yeah.
which that's not bad, you know, if you want to go about it that way. It's to each his own. You know,
I
you're
wouldn't even
showing off.
I wouldn't say separate reels though. Like I said, okay, for editing, just have some links to some edits you've done.
the art of not being noticed. Mograph is the art of look at me. I like that. That was Grant. I'm gonna mess up your
Mhm.
last name. That was Grant. Good job, Grant. Hey, that's G Rant.
Oh, that's the actual G rant.
That's actual G Rant. That's funny.
There's too many grants.
Right. There are.
Um, yeah, editing reel. I mean, what are you gonna put on an editing reel? I don't know. It's tough, but I would try and keep your best stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Your strength is like your main deal. If
Yeah.
your strong point is motion graphics, make a motion graphics reel.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Um,
He said related but different, slightly different question. How do you balance learning all the things you're interested in so you don't end up in a jack of all trades, master of none situation?
yes.
Sometimes I worry that I'm jumping around too much and not really getting good at any one thing. Dude, you and everyone else, trust me, you're not alone on that. You know, I actually had a rant the other day on our channel about, you know,
Right.
how is one person supposed to learn all this stuff? Learn, you know, all this other stuff. And it's like, I just don't have the time, you know?
Well, we have a rant channel, by the way, if you're not
Yeah.
aware. If you want to rant about something on Slack, you can. Here's the thing. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to learn how to do, and I want to know how to do everything, and I want to know. Oh God, man, I want to learn other render engines. I want to learn VR. I want to learn Unity and Unreal. I want to learn programming to some level. I want to learn Houdini. I want to. What else? What else do I want to do? I want to know how to program Python for plugins. Okay, but what do I do mainly? I do motion graphics. So the reel is going to be motion graphics.
Yeah.
Even in our own business, yes, we do video production. Technically, yeah. It's like, okay, you don't need to know that we can edit.
Yeah.
Because we're literally making like all these VFX shots, and we're doing like, you know, in detail like animated videos and MoGraph videos and all of this stuff. You don't need to know that we can edit. I think that's a given at that point. Maybe not. Maybe some people don't think that way, but I feel like, you know, that's the case. So we don't advertise on our site, hey, we can edit things.
Yeah.
Just say,
I think
no.
it's just assumed.
And if you have a good reel that's cut together really well, obviously you can edit. So I don't see much in that. Now, if you're the type of company that is not strictly, but mostly into just video and doing shooting and doing edits, maybe you do some MoGraph on the side, maybe that's a different story. But our website doesn't show off our editing skills or shooting skills. I get people who ask, well, you know, can you show me like some stuff that you've edited? I'm like, well, yeah, and I'll send a link. You can do that. You know, you can have all sorts of demo material. And a lot of times I'll set up some sort of I don't know, like notepad note thing, you know, in iCloud, and I'll just put a bunch of links to stuff in it so that when somebody does contact us and say, hey, you know, can you give me examples of this? I'll just go through my list, and it has the name of the thing, and it has a link and possibly the password on Vimeo if that's required. And I can just copy and paste all of these things that are good examples that fit that client. They say, okay, I need something with a bunch of architectural stuff. Okay, here's my list of all the architectural that we've done. Oh, but you also want to have a logo at the end. Okay, well, here's like 3 or 4 logos we've done as well. And to me, that's a better way to go about sending stuff to a client than like, here's my edit reel. You know, here's my motion graphics reel, because you're not going to necessarily put everything in it or all your styles or whatever.
Yeah.
I hope that helps a little bit.
Yeah. And Ri-Fi, our boy Ri-Fi said, you know, seems like it's all about being amazing at a few things and hiring others who can fill in the gaps when needed. And that's
absolutely,
that's very much what we do. You know, we may not know how, may not be the best at illustration or, you know, character design or sculpting or something like that.
Particular like illustrations, we farm that out.
Yeah, we know how to, you know, actually get it done. You know,
it's one of those things where like, could I build a character and illustrate him in Illustrator? Yes. Am I good at Illustrator and I know all the shortcuts and I can build it fast? No.
Yeah,
Would it
exactly.
take me
The
all
amount of
day?
time, the amount
Right.
of time it would take us to do one character, someone could knock out in a fraction of that time. Someone who's
Right.
proficient at it. So,
So just pay them to do it while you take care of other stuff.
right. And charge
Um,
a 30%,
right.
a 30% increase in whatever they charge, and you're
But
good to go.
but how do you balance learning of all those things? Man, you got to pick what you want to specialize in, and the best way to do that is a couple things. I don't want to say do the one that you have the most fun with because it doesn't necessarily mean you're good at it.
Yeah.
Although they say do what you love, but pick the thing that you're the best at, number one. If
Mhm.
it also happens to be the thing that's the most fun, even better, I think, but that's kind of a number two.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's where you start,
Yeah.
and that's where you focus. It doesn't mean you can't do the other things though.
hmm
But yeah, jumping around too much is gonna kind of suck. And back in the day, it used to be okay. Well, this person is a hair person, and all they do is hair, and they do hair for everything. Everybody
Mhm.
hires them to do hair, and they can't do anything else. And now,
Yeah.
we all have Cinema 4D, and we're all generalists for the most part. So it's kind of like, all right,
Yeah.
you have to be
It's
good
like
at more than one thing now.
if you want to do space, go to David Ariev.
Right. Maybe. I don't know
Maybe.
if he wants to be typecast.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be the space.
None of us
I
want to
don't
be typecast, I don't
Yeah.
think, unless you really enjoy doing one particular thing and you don't want to do anything else. But I don't think anybody wants to get into that. I don't think I would be willing to guess, knowing David, that he doesn't want to do all space stuff all the time forever. Pretty
Yeah.
sure he would like to do something more than just that.
Yeah.
Which he does do. But
Mhm.
again, we've seen a lot of people come back to him. KFC and
Mhm.
the music video came out with the space whales and
Mhm.
some other things I'm not sure if I can mention right now, and where it is space stuff. I would like to get his opinion on that. Really, like I know it's enjoyable. Of course, it seems enjoyable,
Uh-huh.
but does Octane Jesus want to float around in space all the time, or does he want to come down to the ground to do some scatter in the forest sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say concentrate again on number one, what you feel you're best at, and number two, in that order of operations, would be what you love doing the most. And the other stuff,
Mhm.
do it when you can, but you got to have
Yeah.
something that you're going to market,
Yeah.
or it's going to be exactly what you said: jack of all trades, master of none.
And if there's something else you want to learn in your lunch hour, or
Right.
anytime you got some free time, you're laying in bed at night, watch a tutorial, or do a
Yeah, I
quick
can't.
tutorial or something.
I gotta be in front of something. I gotta be in
See,
front of something to do
you're
that.
funny like that. Like I feel like I can just put stuff on and kind of like I'll get a better understanding of the
True.
UI and how everything works and stuff like that.
That is true, but I feel
and
like
then
I'm not gonna retain any of the. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I want to do it again, I've
Mhm.
gotta, I've gotta go back and follow the whole thing again with the software in front of me. So, Tokyo Megaplex says there's a new Redshift build coming out today.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I was
they
asking
come
if it
out
has
with
the AI denoiser. I'm curious if it has the AI denoiser inside the actual
Yeah.
C4D version yet, because I believe that one was only for Maya.
Well, and I want to say that it said that it was in cinema, but it wasn't, or something like that. I was thinking the same thing. Sage
Yeah.
was like, "How is that breaking news? There's a new Redshift build like every week,"
Mhm,
which is
that's
true.
true.
But I hope that it does have the AI denoiser, because I think Liam's been waiting for that in cinema
Yeah.
in order to show it off.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. P.S. In regards to Matt's New Year's resolution, quitting straws,
Mm-hmm.
have you tried stainless steel reusable straws?
I have, yes. I actually have a bunch of them,
They're
but
slightly annoying to clean, but they make you feel like a baller when you
yeah,
drink with them.
they
Thanks for all the awesomeness you guys are putting out into the world, Alex.
I'm glad to say, like, I've maybe only used one or two straws this year,
Mhm.
but I don't know. It's hard to get the fam off of straws. My wife loves a good straw.
My wife.
My wife, there it is. Whoever
There you go. Drink.
drink.
Okay, now we got another Alex here. Alex Campuzano. I think I said that
Hey,
right.
that was pretty good. Yeah.
All right. This is just a comment about the Corona Lights tutorial. So glad you're making Corona for C4D videos. Recently, I've been trying out all the render engines since I want to get more realism. Arnold is good and pretty fast, but I keep coming back to Corona. More videos on creating materials and using the layered stacked materials. Not sure when the nodal material system will make its debut. Hope it's as nice as Cycles. Thanks again.
Here's the thing that I have to say about Corona, and the reason I love Corona as a render engine. It implements the C4D stuff so well, so well. Like moving over to Corona, I as someone who's moving from standard C4D or physical renderer and then going over to Corona, like, or any other render engine, I think Corona would be the easiest because it's so similar to the original C4D.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's what I like about it.
Then we got one from, okay, I do not know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but this person is in the chat, and so we will find out in a second. Swaroop Patil.
That sounds right. I don't know.
Find out. We'll wait for the delay and we'll find out. You watch the stream.
All right, I'll watch the stream.
And we'll find out. Hey bros, regular listener of Brograph from episode 50 to be precise. I am a broadcast designer in a sports network, Star Sports India. Among my team, only 3 people use Cinema 4D. I'm new to Octane. Oh yeah?
Yeah, you said it right.
I am new to Octane and currently trying the VR version, which has been renamed recently. Yes. I'd like to say we had a little bit of impact on that. Yes. Along with Octane ORC, I think Octane is really good for workflow, although we don't have Octane capable machine. We're currently using HP Workstation Z640 and Z840, a very low Octane bench score with Quadro cards. Yeah, Quadros are going to get a low number. Yeah. They're expensive AF, but they're going to get a really low number. Yeah. Because that's not why they're expensive. Mm-hmm. I'm trying.
Just get yourself a cheap 1060 and throw it in there, you know?
Yeah, or even a 900 series.
Yeah, a 900 series would be great.
I'm trying Octane and searching for online render solutions so that I can recommend it to my supervisor. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I think ORC obviously is going to be an option.
It's going to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. You do have some other services that are not necessarily authorized that you can check out. I feel like I don't even know if you really need it. This is hard to say because I don't know what you're doing. But what here's what I would think. If you're just starting out in this, I feel like you would get more value out of buying a couple cheaper 980s than spending all that money on ORC.
Yeah.
For one thing, you're going to need the cards to even do it in the first place. Yeah, you can render to ORC, but you can't use ORC for your live viewer. So you're still going to need those cards. So you're going to have something to start out with. And honestly, you know, if it's just starting, you might be able to convince them to buy you a couple 970s, 980. 970s are, yeah, Gav Grant's 970s are almost on par to P4000. 970s are okay with Octane. I've used them, but you compare it to a 980 Ti, it's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
Which 980 Ti's, I don't know what the prices right now are with the increase in crypto.
Let's look.
But, you know, it's something you could get on the cheap compared to the 1080s for sure.
Yeah. Sage said 1060 over 970 in his opinion.
1060 over 9. Well, I would agree with that, but I don't know about the price.
1060s are only like $300 if you can find them.
And they're small. You know, if you've got a small footprint to put them in, you know, if your computer isn't really capable, I think they're like they're the smaller, you know, however many pins. I forget what that is. I'm not.
980 Ti you can get for about $400 cheapest right now, maybe $500. Buy it now for $550. So.
But see, Sage says 980 Ti over a 1060.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about that.
No, I will agree with him. You got more CUDA cores with the 980 Ti over the 1060, like almost twice as many, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's hard for me to say because I've been using our farm as
Yeah.
network client, which
Yeah.
has a 4 1080s on top of my 1060, and so I guess that's true because last night I had it disconnected from the network and I was trying to do something. I was like, oh, this is slow without having Mr. Meeseeks in the back doing a little back end work, so to speak. So hopefully that answers that. I guess we'll know here in a second since he's listening live.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I guess there was a question for Jules in here that I missed. How's online solutions for workflow environments? I mean, I don't know. I haven't played with it enough to know. But I'm hoping that at some point you could just plug into ORC for your live viewer.
Yeah.
For cheap
that would
price
be awesome.
somehow. That would be fun.
Oh, another so
offline mode.
I hate to say it, but if you're looking for other render options, I know you were, and I don't want to say no, don't use them as much as I hate them, but it is an option. Ranch Computing does actually offer Octane rendering. I hate them because they're stupid. And
tell me how you really feel.
Anyway, they're just kind of they're kind of buttheads. So anyway, but I won't deny the fact that like they render really fast. It's fast and it's cheap to render, but getting the files sucks.
Yes.
So I would say do a test beforehand, you know, on both Orc and he says lol, I know.
I want to say it was Brandon Clements we were talking to on some thread on Facebook a couple weeks ago where he went with Ranch for that, and he was like, oh my gosh, it's the throughput of their network on FTP or whatever you're using. And again, we've talked about this before. They're like, oh, we have a gigabit connection. I'm like, well, not to us.
Yeah,
you got a gigabit connection to your building, which you divide between everyone who works, and then your users get the FTP account. Small amount of bandwidth.
Yeah.
On a bandwidth, that's where you get to download your files, and that's where the big problem is.
Yeah.
Because if the bandwidth is slower than the time that it takes to do the actual render, there's no point in paying for it.
Exactly. So I'd say definitely do a test. You know, I threw something on Ranch because we actually had a couple dollars left in there. So I threw something just like CPU wise, or no, it was GPU wise, but it took longer for me to actually get the files back. Like it rendered in probably 2 minutes, you know,
right?
Like 180 frames or something. But it took me longer to get the files back than if I had just rendered it myself.
Like an hour or something, right?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was so stupid.
And it's worse if you have EXRs, which is
in contrast to that, it did give me the ability to continue working. You know,
right?
Which is the positive thing. It's all these things you gotta look in. But the download speeds just suck. Come on, Ranch Computing, get with the program. Yeah. Like you would be such a good resource if your download speeds were better and you know your customer service wasn't. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Ryan said, "Can you give some?" Can you give some insight into your script writing process? Do you write in-house, hire freelance writers, or a mix of both? Thanks for all you do. Ri-Fi.
We do. It depends on what the client wants. A good majority of the time, the client comes to us and says, hey, we've got this script or we need this done. You know, we've got the outline. You know, sometimes they're going through another service or another, you know, a middleman who's doing all that work. And then they're just hiring us out to do all the work. It has also happened where they're like, hey, we want you to handle all the creative, you know, and actually write the script. Like we shot and edited and did the graphics and everything for a couple of commercials that we actually did the entire thing. I'll normally mull it over for a day or two to kind of come up with a good concept or something, you know, like when we were doing the Christmas one, you know, I thought about that for probably a week or two, and then Dave and I kind of went back and forth on Skype about some funny things that we'd like to see, you know. And
Mhm.
then it actually, like, the original ending to the Christmas card was, it was just gonna be a throwaway. It was gonna be like, let's just give them all iPhones. Okay, iPhones, yeah, you know. So, but then one day I was driving and I was like, oh man, it'd be hilarious to do an animated Christmas card, because it's like we're copping out of this entire thing,
Right.
you know, and it turns it into a good joke. So
Right.
I don't know, you know, it's
That was the joke.
that was the joke.
So,
Yeah.
and sometimes we do kind of this mix thing where clients will actually do the writing,
Yeah.
and then they'll send it to us and be like, okay, what we want this, but can you clean it up? So this is
Yeah.
in between, like, collaborative writing that way. But
Mhm.
honestly, like, first of all, you should be charging. But it really depends. There's a lot of times that I feel like it's usually because if a client is very well versed in their own technology, in their own process, in their own
Mhm.
company, they're going to write a lot better. I've written some stuff
Yeah.
for some projects before that I just did not know. Like, this was a guy
Yeah.
years ago who designed software for sales, for doing sales, you know, like a
Mhm.
salesforce.com .net type tool or
Mhm.
whatever it is. And
.org.
all these features he had were just, I'm like, I don't know what this is or how to sell it, and I can't even Google it. I don't even
Yeah.
know what this does, and it's so hard. And I ask
And
you to explain it, and you can't explain it to me. So how am I supposed to explain it to someone else?
yeah.
Like, if somebody with that kind of software wrote it themselves, it would be a
Mhm.
lot easier for them to do than me, who doesn't know anything about it. Now, if it's creative writing, that's a different story.
Yeah. Now, technical writing, like actual, you know, technical writing and stuff like that. Previous place that I worked, we had actual technical writers on staff.
Hmm.
But the biggest thing is they would get the decks from the clients, from the original client, that would give all the information. It was when we were working for Samsung. You know, we would get the decks from Samsung, you know, talking about the entire product and stuff like that, and they would tell us what kind of things that they want to include. So then they were able to go through and do the actual work and figure out how it worked and how it, you know, interacted and stuff, and then they were able to
Yeah.
write specifically for that.
Yeah.
Technical writing is a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
No, no.
Hopefully that covers it, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Let's go to Matt Gerard. I think this is our last
Yep.
question.
Which actually, just to pause real quick, because I'm like super excited about this. So I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned this a few weeks ago about my Logitech. I got the Logitech PowerPlay and the G703.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I hated them. I absolutely hated them. They were being total buttheads to me, you know, and just wasn't working well. Well, I did a little bit of research because it was like super laggy, and turns out that I just needed to make a few adjustments. Now this thing is smooth as butter. So
Nice.
now I can, well, I haven't opened it up in Octane, and that's where it was giving me the biggest problem. But as of right now, I can recommend the PowerPlay and the G703.
You
You
know,
know?
something that I would actually have problems with sometimes with certain, this is why I like to use a wired mouse,
Yeah.
is that sometimes the GPU powering up big time
Mm-hmm.
interferes with the frequency of the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So it's like you'll start Octane and you start rotating around, and when you rotate around, the graphics cards start doing their thing, more
Yeah.
hardcore, that interferes, and then your mouse jumps, and then your thing screws up, and then you're like, what's going on? And it's
Yeah.
all because, I mean, sometimes I feel like I should be wearing some lead underpants around my workstation, because I mean, even I'll be listening to music and I'll power up Octane or something, and the
Mhm.
music in my Bluetooth that's not even connected to the computer that
Mhm.
I'm using, it's connected to my phone. My Bluetooth will
Yeah.
like skip a beat, and I'm like, how much electromagnetic radiation is emanating at the point when I power up Octane? You know,
Yeah.
should I cover my nether regions? Like, what's going
I think
on?
you're
Like,
just
it's
paranoid.
interfering.
Maybe
Well,
you
it's
should put the
it's
tinfoil hats
interfering with
on.
my Bluetooth though. Like how?
Yeah.
But that's why, like, when you got Bluetooth, a mouse, sometimes like there's no getting around that interference.
Yeah.
And that's why I like
Well,
wired mouse.
the cool thing about this particular mouse is like, so this power pad and the mouse actually share the same input. So like if I wanted to switch this over to just a regular mouse pad instead of the actual powered one, I can take the plug out of the powered pad and plug it into the mouse, so that I've
Okay.
actually got a wired mouse, which is pretty cool. Anyway,
Cool.
all right, last question.
Last question. This is where everybody needs to get their espresso caps on,
All right,
because I don't know if I can answer this live. We might have to think about this for a little bit.
all right.
I
got my
haven't
espresso
fully
cap.
dug into this question yet. Okay. This is from Matt Gerard.
All right. Hey.
Subject espresso. I'm a rookie working espresso. I have played around with it, but I'm looking for some resources. At my new full-time gig, I am constantly having to rebuild and run cords and cables for connecting different products. A ton of these are connected with this stuff called
Monocoil.
monocoil. Monocoil.
Put the wrong
Okay.
emphasis in the wrong
syllable. I'm trying to build a rig. This is going to be so hard to explain over audio. I'm trying to build a rig with the inner cylinder and a helix spline swept with a rounded corner rectangle around the outside of it, and I'm close. I have the model set up, but what I'd like to figure out is how to do a rig where I can control the length of the inner cylinder and have the coil on the outside match. That sounds pretty doable.
That's okay. It almost sounds like you're only trying to link one thing to another. Now,
might be able to do that right-click thingy.
That's what I was going to say. I don't
drivers
know
are driven.
how into espresso you are, but the biggest thing, like, and this is something that I found, like, when I can't find out how to get something into espresso, right-click set driven on the thing that into my actual, espresso stuff.
Here's the thing. If it's not going to be as simple as the height of both of these things. So I'm almost thinking, no, Windows, I don't want to update. Oh my God. Doing something in the middle of the day. Bring up that thing at 3 a.m.
You need to get pro, yo.
Okay. The length of the inner cylinder and the coil have to be the same height, if I'm thinking of this correctly. It's not necessarily a matter of matching heights of two things. So what you have to do is figure out how many points or inches or centimeters does the coil have to wind in order to equal 1 unit of measurement of height.
Right.
The way that you would do that is with a range mapper.
Yeah.
So you would figure out, if let's say you're doing the coil, and if you go from like, there's some sort of math involved in this for the coil, where it'd be like, let's say it's like 2.5 inches of coil equals 1 inch vertical of your cylinder. You would do a range mapper that maps every inch to 2.5 inches.
Okay.
And then
that is very confusing the way you're saying it.
Okay.
Let me just say what a range mapper is first, right?
Okay.
First, a range mapper in the espresso is you can take the range of one thing, high low, the high and the low of one thing, and change it to a different high and low of another thing. So say, for example, if you had some user data that was from 0 to 100, but you wanted to change that from 0 degrees to 360 degrees, you could say, okay, my input is going to be, 0 to 100, and my output is going to be 0 to 360 degrees. That's what a range mapper does. It basically changes one thing to another in a way. Okay, so now that you got that, yes, Dave is right as far as, you'd use a range mapper, but I think you'd also have to use some sort of a math node in there to calculate the exact amount. I don't know, because with helixes, It's not about height. It's about how many
percentage.
rotations and, how many degrees and heights.
Well, if you have a maximum for everything, you could do it that way. So you could say like 0 to 100, 0 to 100% equals 0 to 40 inches of height on the cylinder. Now, if it's a cylinder that is parametric, you got to realize that's going from the center out. So that's going to be you're going to have to do like a divide by 2 thing.
Okay, your go-to for someone who hasn't used espresso, or has dug very little into it, set driver, set driven is going to be your main thing that you want to start off with.
A lot of times it puts a range mapper in automatically.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So what else? What else are some good nodes? Let's go that instead of trying to figure out the actual problem, or how to solve it. Like some good nodes that you could use. Range mapper. That's a good one. The math node would be another great one to learn.
Use math all the time.
If you don't know about user data, like that was one thing that completely changed my world when it came to espresso. Being able to create user data within your attributes, of a specific thing, being able to change that, you're actually creating a user interface that actually drives the espresso and stuff. I lost you.
I lost you for a second. A results node?
A results node is good. Yeah, that'll if you're having problems, you can throw a results node into the output and actually see what you're coming out with so that that that's what you need to be coming out with.
And if something's animated, make sure you set in your espresso options to show animated.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to move through your thing in order for the numbers to adjust.
Yeah.
Move through your timeline.
Yeah. It's espresso is super powerful. In my opinion, it's one of the best things about Cinema 4D, is that you can basically create your own programs or create your own custom anything with it,
Yeah, pretty much.
So
let's see. I'm a bit over my head on how to do this. I'm wondering if you fellas learned espresso or where you learned espresso.
I learned it from you, actually.
I learned it by watching you.
No, in all honesty, once I learned about the user data stuff, and then I learned about the range mapper, the math node, and results and stuff like that. Once you kind of learn that, it's all cake from there.
You have to know, that's the thing. Like you can do tutorials on it, but unless you know what your options are, it's hard to know how to go about doing something. You got to learn what each node is and what it does. And what's great about Cinema 4D is you can right click on anything and learn what it is. There's a whole espresso
as long as you've
page.
Actually installed the help stuff.
Right. But you could look at it online. You can see what every node does, but knowing what node options are available helps you to craft something, if that makes any sense. If you're going to build something, let's say you're going to build a table out of wood. Okay, knowing what types of sizes of wood that you have at your disposal really helps you build the table, right? So if you just go in and say, okay, I've got to build a table and go, you're gonna be like, well, do they make a type of board that's, not a 2x4, but like a 3.5x6 or something, or do I have to build that myself? Knowing what your options are at the hardware store or at Home Depot makes it easier to kind of craft something where you're not like patching things together or gluing pieces of wood together. You're going to build a table based on what's available. That you're going to use a 2x4 because that's what is readily available. So you go into espresso, you're like, okay, I know that there's a math node, there's a node that does this, a node that does that. And it's about knowing how espresso works and what's at your disposal. So the first thing you have to do is learn espresso, maybe by doing tutorials that don't necessarily do what you want them to do in espresso. It's more about like learn the workflow of espresso rather than find a crafted tutorial to your thing, because you're never going to find that. You're never going to find something that specifically says take a helix and match the height to this. You're just going to have to learn how it all works first, and then it will come naturally. You'll be like, oh, well, that makes sense. You just map this, and for just about every time
Yeah.
you're doing espresso.
Yeah.
You know, like
And
the
this is a
weird
really good
ones you don't use that often.
this is a really good project to kind of learn it, learn the range mapping and the math nodes and stuff like that.
I think math and range
And
mappers are going to solve it easy.
yeah, I think so too. I really think so. It almost sounds to me like you're creating a guitar string type thing, where you know how a guitar string has the inner string and then you got a coil all the way around it.
Mhm.
That's what it sounds like to me. So if you made the inner string longer, you would want the coil to stay the same, just adding additional rotations and stuff like that.
Right, and you could easily do a 0 to 100% on that and make it work.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. Your plugins are a lifesaver for me when I was using Octane. Unfortunately, now I'm on a full-time with a shop that uses Keyshot for rendering. Ugh. I'm sitting on a copy of
Octane. Creates good stuff.
I'm sitting on a copy of Octane that I haven't touched in over a year. Anyone interested? Same for a copy of Cinema 4D since they bought me Studio here. Anyway,
depends on how much you want to sell it for.
Yeah.
I got a third computer I could use it on now.
Anyway, I can send you what I have so far if you're interested in taking a peek. Pretty simple setup, just looking for satisfaction of making a tool that will make my life easier later. Totally, I get that. And that's for Matt. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think that covers it, yo.
I thought that was going to be a short show. I was kind of worried there for a second. Now
No, it's always going to be a short show. It's going to be a short show now, even though it's already 2.5 hours almost.
Yeah, I know.
So
thank you guys so much who showed up on the chat today.
Man, I really like this. Is this going to be a normal thing now?
Oh, I hope so. Are
we doing Mondays now, like during the day, or how are we doing this?
I don't know. We'll have to think about that
because Sunday nights are great, but like
Sunday nights are great, but we're not sure about how many people will be able to get to watch it from 9 to midnight.
Yeah, live. Like
Mondays are good, but we're gonna have to block it off every week, and that's gonna put us behind. Ear. Yeah, we'll play it. We'll play it by ear.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, I guess.
Pretty good, I guess. All right.
Cool.
Tokyo Megaplex says, good show, guys.
Thanks. Jago Design, thank you so much. Gav Grant, thank you so much.
Ryan,
Tokyo Megaplex.
Pretty good, I guess.
Swaroop Patil, thank you so much. Gav Grant, I don't know if we said your name. Who else?
All the grants.
Cinema 4D Tutorials SV, thanks. Yeah, all the grants.
All
Rick
the
Bogus.
Grants. All the great grants. And Rick Bogus.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you at NAB, Rick Bogus.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about that, whether we were going to see you at the Medium Ocean Ball or not. So
you can rate us on iTunes, leave a review, also subscribe to the show if you're just listening on YouTube. Get your podcatcher of choice in there, especially if you're going to log in on iTunes, help get our ratings up with your review, your ratings, your subscription numbers. You can sign up for our newsletter, which we haven't sent out in a long time, but you can sign up for it.
Yeah, we're about to send one out.
Well, we're going to send one out for DFW C4D.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. You can say you've been there, done there. I screwed it up. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt with the no Brograph, no Mograph tee. The Gatney Simone limited edition. You better hurry up and get that.
Super limited.
Oh man. Make sure you get that. We need to have something else out before NAB if we have time.
Yeah, dude, render things. All you gotta do is turn it red, literally right now.
Render things sweatshirt. I know.
Just do it right now.
I want to do the hoodie. And then you got the Paul Babb Feel the Bab 2020 shirt.
Yeah.
Profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders.
If you're going to NAB, get your picture taken with Paul Babb, with your Paul Babb 2020 shirt. Maybe we can convince him to make a run for it.
To make a run for it?
Yeah, for 2020.
Oh yeah,
president.
Totally. Yeah.
A run for president?
Yeah, that's not stressful. He will totally take a picture with you if you have that shirt on or not. If you have no shirt on, he'll probably take a picture with you too. I don't know. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, I guess. But
Paul Babb's a great guy. He just loves taking pictures.
Yeah. Brograph shirt, no shirt. Yeah. Just love taking pictures. All right. That covers that. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, of course, YouTube, Brograph.com, and Twitch.
Yep.
And all the stuff and things. Don't forget to join us on the live streams. Keep watching Twitter and all the social media channels for info on when that goes up. You can go to Brograph.tv to get access to all the live stuff and the info. Of course, our live stream embed wasn't working today for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't feel like.
First one, and it goes down. Way to go,
No,
Dave.
it's not our first one. That's up there all the time.
Yeah.
And then that pretty much covers it. So, you ready to get out of here? All right.
Let's get out of here. I gotta go to the bathroom. That's
Wish
the
you
thing
would.
about a live show. It's like I can't just say, "Hey, I
You
gotta go to the
could.
bathroom." I could.
You could.
Yeah. I know you
Yeah.
would have thrown up the. We need like a technical difficulties one.
What the yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, standby works in that case, right?
Yeah, it does. It
I mean,
does.
here. This is what it looks like, and then I have it's called the waiting game that I play here. Dun, 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 and it has like all this like, like cheesy waiting game music.
Yeah.
That goes on with the standby and the color bars and the hipping and the hopping and the bipping and the bopping.
All right, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Until next week. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
Have a good one.
Later, bros. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, get. I feel like.
All right.
I feel like.
I'm gonna run to the restroom.
All right. I'll entertain the troops.
Or you could just stop.
No, we're gonna talk for it. This is the after show. This is the Brograph after show. You're on the Brograph after show. Brograph after dark. Taking your requests live. Copyright violation, but we'll just pretend. Play that beat again. I can play that one. It's called The Waiting Game by Brock Berrigan. Coming at you, Brograph Live. This is Brock Barrington's The Waiting Game. Ugh. Okay, enough of that. So, Brograph After Dark. We're gonna get out of here as soon as Matt gets back, though. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. That was a good show. I can't believe how many people turned up on the stream. That was crazy. We still have quite a few people listening and watching now, even though we're done. So, Brock Berrigan. My name is Brock Berrigan. Oh my. Raid 0 in the house. People's people in the house. I don't know what else to say on the live. We're pretty much done. Maybe I'll just turn it off. Everybody say goodbye to Matt. I'm going to turn these off slowly here. I'll turn off YouTube last, I promise. We'll be up on the Slack channel here in a little bit. So we'll talk to you on there. See y'all later.